during a retreat that I was facilitating at, I was helping out and working as basically one of the teachers 3 years ago, I believe. There was this guy who was just, he just got more and more unstable as the retreat progressed. And we were kind of worried about him, actually. And during one of the sessions, I remember I was helping somebody out in the room, and as I'm walking back to my place up at the front, this arm reaches out and grabs me. And we're doing actually a like all-night meditation, so the room's quite dark, and this arm comes out of nowhere. It's like this, and he yanks me towards him. I'm like, what is going on? And he like pulls me this close to his face, and I realize who it is. It's this guy who's been a little bit unstable, and he's like, "Hey, I need to put some shit on you." Yeah, his exact words, "I need to put some shit on you," and he meant like emotional stuff. Like he wants to just unload, and I basically said no. It's like, no, I can't do that. I'm helping people, and he took it fine. Like I didn't say it that strongly. I said it tactfully, and was like, yeah, we'll work with it. Let me just do what I have to do in the room. And so one thing leads to another. He ends up outside, and there's a few other people outside who are just trying to rest and take a break, and he's just dumping on them. And this guy's like he's bouncing off the walls. His energy's all erratic. He's talking about like politics and just random stuff. And this other, actually the man that runs the location where we run these retreats, is this really sweet old man named Eddie. He's Australian. And just one of these guys, it's impossible not to love him. He's just kind to everybody and hilarious. So Eddie makes his way outside, and he's watching this happen, and this guy's just unloading this toxic garbage on everybody who are trying to practice and meditate. They're like dealing with their own stuff, and he's just, imagine being like working through a trauma, and this guy's just like talking about Trump at you as intensively as he possibly can. And Eddie goes out, he's like, "Oh mate, what's the problem?" Just like, really casually. And this guy's unloading on Eddie now. And Eddie kind of like puts one hand on either shoulder, just really gently, like this sort of grandfather figure. And he's like, "Man, it's okay. All of you is welcome here." And as soon as he said that, this guy just totally relaxes. He's like, "Oh, it's okay." Internally, this is what I imagine. He's not saying anything at this point. He's silent for the first time all night. And he's like, "Oh, it's okay to feel what I'm feeling." And finally, he lays down on the ground and he starts going through this emotional process and actually addressing what he's running from, because all of the instability and the shakiness and the like escaping into political nonsense was his way of distracting himself from what he was feeling. And Eddie just goes, "It's okay. All of you is welcome here. You can feel exactly how you're feeling." And he ended up having this beautiful experience in processing whatever he was dealing with. And the next morning he was like glowing, so grateful to everybody, and especially to Eddie, and went home just like beaming, and it reminds me of what we've done for each other actually just in this 2 days or something, where it truly, all of you is welcome here to share what you need to share, because this is the place to do it. And it does take a little bit of courage and like, is it okay to really talk about this? And what I would say is like, it's okay, and just speak about what you're comfortable with. There's also no pressure to share. But just the fact that this is a safe container is a really powerful thing, because it's become this way so quickly. It's a really amazing thing. And the other level of that too is that all of you is welcome here means that when you're processing these emotional charges or traumas or holding patterns or blockages, what if you took that perspective with yourself and just felt, whatever I'm feeling right now is exactly okay. Like, all of you is welcome here. You go down to this sort of unconscious dungeons where, like, where all the prisoners are held, and you say, like, all of you are welcome. And what would that feel like, to just completely accept yourself as you are in whatever state you're in? And how much energy would that free up? So, well done, first of all. I'll say that, like, truly, well done. And all of you really is welcome here.